Hello, young lady. So, I'm going to be dismantling this thing to put it in a box. And because of, I wanted to make sure that I made a video so it would all go back together with ease, just like it's coming apart, and you'd be able to see exactly what's going on. So, first off, I've started, and this is a brand new camera, so slash phone, so I'm shooting in high resolution, so it should work out pretty good for you to be able to see what's going on. There are 4 screws that go through the seat into the undercarriage here on the car, and unfortunately this thing is going to follow me, so it might shoot a little high. I might have to do this right in here. So this is what you're going to see here. You got a little screw and a washer and a nut. The screw will go in through the top, the washer will go on, and then the nut will go on, okay? So I'm going to take all of those off. Tools you will need. If you have a little screw gun, that would be fantastic, but you don't need one. You're not going to wear yourself out because there's only 2 screws on here that are long. But just a regular Phillips screwdriver would be fine. If you have a screw gun, you want to try to get, Phillips screwdriver about that same size. You can use a plane. You would want one a little larger than this, as far as not really length as much, but just in the tip. I did use this, what is this, a 7mm, and I think that's going to go to a 9/32 is the closest one in a SAE, or American as they say. I used a 5/16, a 9/16, and a 7/16. Okay, so that's your 4 wrench or nut sizes. So again, either this is the 7mm. Didn't I say that? Yeah, 7mm, and then which goes to 9/32 in American. 5/16, a 7/16, and a 9/16. It wouldn't hurt to have some type of pliers, but you ain't gonna need them. The pliers I use to grab these little guys when they're in a tight spot for a wrench. That's really all you need to do this whole thing. And I wish I had a little bit more time to buff this thing out again for you. It's been in the shop, and we have a lot of fuels and stuff that's in the air, and dust and dirt and stuff, so it's been a while since we cleaned it when we took the pictures. But both my daughter and my wife were just in an accident, so as you can see, I'm pleasantly behind. I say pleasantly because I'm blessed to have the work. I hope this video that you're getting ready to watch helps you immensely, and I hope everything got there in one piece the way it left here. If you have any problems, you can always give me a call at Gotta Know Joe Hobbies. You got all my contact information and our mission statement and everything is in the box with this thing, and we hope you enjoy it. I'm gonna have to get a pair of pliers. There's the little screws there. Actually, what I'm going to do, the same thing's going to be true here and here, over here, here, and down here. And down here, it's also going to hold the tailgate on. Now I'm finding the first screw that I took off had a washer. 2 of the others did not. And so when they put this together, some of them got washers, some of them didn't. I think it would be best if you sit the truck on its side. I think that's going to be the easiest way for you to access everything you need to reinstall these parts. A second set of hands will be helpful getting your screws started so that you can hold in place and get the screws in and get a couple of turns on them. Then you can run back through and just kind of tighten everything up. These wheels, the holes don't look elongated, so they should all self-align. That shouldn't be a problem. You'll have the little tailgate here, and washers on this stuff up here isn't as important, but here it is, and I'll tell you why. You're going to want to have a washer in between this metal here and the truck. So when you put that in there, you want to put a washer in between this and the little lip here. So it'll be bolt washer, and then you want to put a washer, and then you go through here, and then a bolt on the other side of the bolt on the other side of that. That way, when this turns here, it has something to turn against versus turning on the actual nut itself. On the front clip, you see here, we've got a 7/16 nut, and it goes on a screw with a Phillips and a plain head. See? I'm gonna put the bolts and nuts and screws back in the holes they need to go back into. This should be 4 quick and easy ones. One here, one up here, these 2 here that give you the front support. Wait a minute, nope, those can stay in. So it'll be these 2 here, and maybe these 2, which should be on the only thing that we'll have to pull out of this. But let me get into it a little further and see. Okay, I want to show you this. This could be a little tricky to figure out if you didn't have a visual. You see this little tab here? When I pull this screw off, which I'll have this on here for you. When I pull this off, that'll go up, it slides up this way, and that bolt will go through this brace. And then this right here will go over, right back where you took it off from, and the bolt will go through this piece here. Okay, it'll go through this piece here and then through this piece here. You see how it looks up? Let me see how it looks up there. That's the way it's all put together right there. There we go. Now see, I just pulled that bolt out of there, so the bolt goes through here, and all the way through, and you put a nut on the other. Steering column coming down, there's a cotter pin and a washer, and that will stay on top of this assembly. So bear with me, we're learning together. It was easier better. We're going to leave the steering assembly in here because it's actually tabbed. It doesn't want to come out, but we did have to lay it over so we can pack it tight. So you'll pull this one cotter pin out, and you will pull that washer off. This shaft will go through that hole, and put the washer and the cotter pin back over and bend over one side, and your steering assembly will all be back together. At the top of the steering wheel, there's a hole there. The steering shaft goes through it, and that one nut holds the steering wheel on. It's slotted so the steering wheel won't turn. The other good thing is it got me in here to where I couldn't see, where I was able to get some more dust that I didn't see when we washed this thing the first time. Now, my shop is dusty. We do a lot of building and stuff in here, as you can see, so I apologize for any of the elbow grease you might need to put on it to bring it back up to your standard. But we'll try to give it a quick once over again before we pack it up all real tight. The reason I wanted to leave the wheels on the axles is because of these tabs. These tabs, you know, they are what they are, and opening them and closing them too many times, sometimes they get one time. If you do it, you know, more than once, sometimes they'll break off, and I didn't want to chance that. Okay, love. I'm also taking the pedal extensions off. There's 2 bolts on each one, It's got a washer on the back side. I'll put the nuts and bolts back in here, but this way I can get those wheels up in there, and it just makes for a safer ship. But I wanted to show you how this comes together and goes apart. If I can do it with one hand, that's the tough part, getting this stuff done with one hand without a cameraman or girl or horse. See how that comes up like that? Then I'm gonna wrap that up real good, and you'll have both of your nuts and bolts in each one of these. There's a, see that little channel there? It'll go on the inside of the channel. Alrighty.